Having a plan and a budget is important because it lets you take charge of your finances. You become the one in control and who decides where your money and paycheck goes. Do you find it hard to budget to go for a month and find yourself waiting or even just thinking about when the next paycheck will hit your bank account? Well, you're not alone. In this video, I will walk you through how you can budget with me and save even on low income of 1,500. Many people on low income or with high debt don't budget by paycheck because they find their money drains way too fast and they are left feeling anxious if they are going to make it to the next paycheck. The anxiety comes primarily due to lack of control of their finances and all the emotions and consequences that are caused by this, such as not being able to afford the things they want, inability to travel, not being able to buy loved one presents, feeling that they're not enough due to being in debt or lack of financial security. And now, imagine that on your debt-free journey, you finally reach the stage where your fridge and cupboards is always stocked of your favorite foods, your car is full of gas, rent is paid up front, and you have enough money set aside to cover next month's rent and even a few in advance. That you're able to take out your loved one on a date and finally start going to that dancing class or swimming class that you've been thinking about for the last few months or even years. Now, wouldn't that be great? In this video, you'll budget with me low income to set you up for success in your debt-free journey and help you save money. We will do that together by learning how to budget on low income, how to save money, and how to pay off debt. To make this as easy as possible, you should follow me along and budget by paycheck based on your most recent paycheck and just follow along on the steps I show you. Hey, what is up? My name is Domas Crane and I live in Lithuania, a small European Union nation right next to Russia and Belarus. I am here to show you how you can take control of your life financially, regardless of external circumstances, how to upgrade your life and expand your knowledge on personal finance to help you on your life's journey. So, first things first, prepare your working space. Take out your notebook, Excel, or app where you track your expenses. And if you don't do that yet, don't sweat. This will prepare you for it and show why budgeting and expense tracking is so important. Having a plan and a budget is important because it lets you take charge of your finances. You become the one in control and who decides where your money and paycheck goes. You do that by deciding what works best for you, rather than being at the mercy of your whims and economic conditions. There's very few videos I found where people honestly show what it looks like to budget a real income and what it involves. So I'm going to take you through this whole process where I go through the beginning of each month. This is a really fun and educational process where you learn a lot about yourself and what your true values are, because you see where your money goes, you know where you spend most money on, and that's where your attention is at. So in the beginning, your budgeting system should be very simple because simple things work and they're easy to stick to, and you want simple. So you'll use a very simple Google spreadsheet for setting up your budget and for tracking. Although for tracking, you can use whatever spreadsheet or different app and later just import the expenses. But just for the sake of simplicity, you can also do it on the same spreadsheet. So your most important task with monthly budgeting is to make this a habit, a part of your lifestyle, because the level of your lifestyle strongly depends on this one simple habit. So go right into it. So go ahead and copy the link to the spreadsheet, add it into the description, and make your own personal copy of the spreadsheet so that you can follow along and fill it out. If not, first observe, learn, and then replicate the same process after watching the video. So let's dig right in. Now that you made a copy, it's very important to start with income, because that tells you how much money you make per month and the amount with which you can actually work. So the very important part here is, where does your money come from? From what kind of sources? So here you can see we have a salary, overtime bonus, second job or side hustle, government support, substitutions, child support, gifts, or dividends. You should add all of these types of income that you have, even if they're non-ordinary and come just from time to time, so that you know what you're working with and where your money comes from, rather than just hoping you have enough for the month. So the very important part is to split between different sources of income. So for example, here we assume that in total we're making 1,500 per month. The important part is to know what's the money that definitely will come this month, which may be in our case 1,250 that comes from salary, and you know this money will come in. So it's very important to budget by the amount you are certain you're going to receive. So I really strongly advise to use salary for your living expenses here, and then everything else, do not bet on it. It's very good if you have it, but if not, you should not in a ditch in case you're not getting the other amount. So in our case, 1,250 is from salary that you know you will receive. Then I have a different section for bonus or overtime. So Christmas time is coming, you know you may receive some bonus, or you're always doing overtime and getting additional money from that. That's amazing, just add it in. You also have a second job, maybe flipping old CDs, reselling clothes that you buy in flea market and just sell it online more expensively. But that's very good, just put it down as well, so you know how much money you're getting from different sources. And lastly, let's assume that we are also making $57 per month from simply selling homemade stuff. Maybe cookies, maybe you're making cookies, maybe you're doing consultations to friends, or just mow their lawn twice a month, and just put it down here so you know what you're working with. For the next step, it's best to start with savings, because that way you ensure that your financial situation is improving every single month, at least by a little bit. Of course, there are exceptions where you should not be saving as aggressively, such as when you have very high interest rate debt, so that you pay off it faster, so you can save money much sooner and by higher amounts. Ideally, you should aim for 10 to 20% savings rate. But while setting what amount you want to save each month, it's very important that you look at your base salary, meaning no overtime, no second job, no dividends or any other income, just the income that you're sure you will get every single month. So think of the amount that is reasonable for you, that would be enough for you to put away every month and still very reasonably achievable, but that would still improve your quality of life every single month, so you know you are prepared for whatever future opportunities arise, or that you are improving your lifestyle by saving money for something that's important to you, like buying a house or buying a car in the future. So in this case, since our income is 1,250, the income that we are certain of, a very good amount would be something like 100 to 150. That would equate to roughly 10%, which is a very good starting point, and it's high enough to feel an impact over the long run in your savings, but not high enough for you to feel a decrease in your quality of life. It does not have to be much, but it has to be something, because going into debt every single time that you need money for emergencies or something unexpected creates a negative psychological effect, such as dependency on debt, bad feelings, feelings of inadequacy, etc. While being able to afford things from your own money, from something you saved up, creates very positive effects on your self-esteem, your quality of life, your perception of yourself, and it lets you avoid being dependent on debt, which is very, very positive. So think about the number and input it here for your own case. Next step is expenses. Initially, this is achieved through trial and error, where you just trying to figure out what amount actually works for you. Then you update, adjust, you keep tracking and see what you planned and what the actual expense is. And this is also the most dreadful part, because it shows you how much money you spend on things that are not actually improving your quality of life, but just keeping it up. If you keep tracking this, it will let you optimize the amount you spend and how to best allocate your salary towards different things that are important in your life, or at least necessary. As you can see here, I already input a lot of numbers, how I would split for myself on this income. And I know that rent here is quite low, but from my personal experience, even though rent in Lithuania is at 800 on average, there are rooms that you can rent out for 200 to 150. It's just gonna be not as close to city center, meaning not optimal location, not prime, not as luxurious as you may want to. But if you want to improve your life, you may need to sacrifice a few things. Then for food, I allocated 200. That's a very reasonable amount. I myself have no problems fitting into that. And let's say you have debt. This number should cover if it's for car, rent, phone, maybe a small mortgage. This should cover it completely. If not, just adjust the number how it feels safe for you. It's very important to also leave some amount for education. In here, education is anything related to schools, universities, books, self-education. For myself, I consider dancing to be a form of education because I was never a dancer, but apparently it helps me with my body movements, confidence, and everything else. So education can be anything that helps you grow. Next step is allocate a little bit for medical emergencies, medicine, maybe supplements. Even if you're not using any now, it's good to have it allocated just in case you get a flu or something similar and you need to buy medicine. It's always good to be prepared for this. And if you allocate it and you're not using it, you can always swap this in at the end of the month towards savings. Then some for transportation, home stuff, toiletries, housewares like new dishes, personal care, so shampoo, maybe a haircut. If you have animals, put some money here. Traveling, maybe you want a weekend getaway each month or so. 100 should be sufficient. If not, just zero this out and put into savings so you can save up for a bigger holiday, let's say once or twice a year, and just have that. Entertainment, so this is subscriptions, Netflix, Spotify, whatever else subscription service you have, also concerts, restaurants. And I know this is really low since concert costs like 100, but if you want to make progress in your life, especially financially, you have to sacrifice something. Your life is not going to improve if you're going to Pink or Rammstein concerts every single month for 150 euros or dollars. That's not gonna help your case in any way. And always allocate a little bit towards gifts. You never know when you get invited to a random birthday party and you want to be prepared. So do that, and if it's left over, you're not using it, just put that into savings at the end of the month. Last step is, what do you do with the 250 leftover from overtime, second job, dividends, etc., or for money you did not spend here? What you do, you input it into savings. So let's say at the end of a month you did not spend those 250 that you got here, so you just add it here to 350, and then you can see your actual savings here, and it will calculate your savings rate based on this number and on your total income and on this income. You should aim for at least 10%, ideally for 20%. That will definitely improve your quality of life very fast. Unless you have high debt, then your other option is to use the bonus amount to pay off debt to make it lower, and over time this will improve your quality of life very, very rapidly. If you just apply discipline and keep following a channel and apply all the teachings that I give you. So I hope this was very helpful for you and that you see how this will improve your life. A bonus is you can always go into transactions and keep your expenses here, not necessarily on apps like Why You Need a Budget. Just directly type something in here. For example, I already put in rent here. You can put in 100 for ticket for a concert, and just select something here. It will be entertainment here, and you will see it updates here, and at the end of the month you can see what's the difference. I hope this is helpful for you. I hope you keep up the good work, and I'll see you next time. Peace.